Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Lost Coast podcast. Today, we have a special guest with us. His name is David Yates, and he's a upper surgical chiropractor and also does, I believe it's called phototherapy chiropractic. Yates, is that correct?
Phototherapy is separate from chiropractic, but that's correct. It's a form of light therapy.
Okay. So, David, welcome to the show, first of all. And please tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the chiropractic business.
So it all started when I served a mission for my church in Costa Rica at the age of 19. Fresh out of high school, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I just knew that I had been very blessed by God and by the knowledge of his gospel, and I wanted to share it with people. And I was blessed to receive a call to go serve in San Jose, Costa Rica. And if any of your listeners have ever been to Costa Rica, they know what a special place that is. And it was a special place for me to spend 2 years of my life sharing the beliefs that are most precious to me with the people of Costa Rica. And in doing that, Cory, I learned what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, which is to serve and help people. And that led me to becoming a upper cervical specific chiropractor. Now, I could have been a general chiropractor and done just fine. I mean, there's plenty of thousands and thousands of chiropractors in this country that do general chiropractic and help people wonderfully and do just fine financially. I chose upper cervical because in studying the anatomy of the human being and the physiology of the body, I identified that the upper neck is the most important area in the spine. And if I were a chiropractor and was only allowed to adjust one bone, it would be the atlas, which is the top bone in our neck, which holds our head up, and it protects the most important organ in our body, which is the brainstem. The brainstem was actually the first organ that developed after conception, and from there, everything else developed. Our cardiovascular system, our respiratory system, our brain, our digestive system, all involuntary muscle contraction in the body is controlled in the brainstem. And, most people go to chiropractors because they want to move better, they want to have better mobility, or they want to get out of pain, right? And a lot of the pain that we have comes from tissue damage to our muscles, our ligaments, our tendons. But none of that would be identified or interpreted in the body without the nervous system. And most people, Cory, don't really realize and understand that chiropractors are not pain doctors. They're nervous system doctors. They make sure they're functional doctors. They're functional medicine doctors. The medicine, though, that they give is adjustments to the spine to assure that your body is functioning at 100%. Because if there's any interference to your nervous system's flow of energy, then you're not functioning at 100%. And that's why I chose the upper neck, because I knew that by working specifically in that area, I could have a greater global effect on the function of my patient's body. And that's exactly what has happened. And that is what I'm doing currently here in Bakersfield, California, at a clinic called Envista Medical, neck and back. I'm able to do upper cervical work, but we're also a regenerative medicine clinic. And that's where phototherapy comes in. Phototherapy is a therapy that activates dormant stem cells in the body, which is that's the key to regenerative medicine. stem cells can replicate any cell type in the body, and repair and rejuvenate that cell in that tissue type. Some people do it through stem cell injections, other through PRP injections. We do both of those in our clinic. I just happened to come across a company back in February that manufactures a little patch that you put on your body. And so without injections, without, introducing cells from another host into your body, this patch actually activates dormant stem cells that are already in your body. And I'm amazed with the technology. I've been using it on my body since February. And so those are the two things that I'm really interested in educating your audience about, Cory, is upper cervical specific chiropractic and phototherapy, specifically a type called X39, a patch that this company manufactures that activates dormant stem cells in their body. That's what I want to talk about.
Okay. Well, real quick on the upper cervical chiropractic piece, who's the ideal client that should be looking to go and that would be a good client for you that you can work on that specific upper cervical area is kind of like the key point where you can help them.
I couldn't hear you that well, but from what I understood, you want to know the type of client that would be good for upper cervical care. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So anybody who's been in physical, chemical, or emotional trauma in their life would be a good candidate for upper cervical care, which basically is everybody. Most people don't realize that they have a problem in their upper neck because there are less pain receptors in the area of the upper neck than there are movement receptors. So we have a lot of range of motion in our neck, especially in our upper neck. But if there's a problem there, our body doesn't indicate through pain that we have a problem there. The way it's manifested is dysfunction. Things start to break down. We get conditions like asthma or cardiovascular conditions like high blood pressure. High blood pressure is something that responds incredibly nice to upper cervical care. Most people wouldn't know that, because they don't go to a chiropractor to lower their blood pressure. Most people don't go to a chiropractor to improve their digestive system, function, or their respiratory system. They go to a respiratory therapist, right? And so, so really anybody who's dealing with dysfunction or a chronic issue should go to an upper cervical specific chiropractor.
Interesting. So, I mean, I don't need to give, but is it fairly affordable for, like, say, a business?
Yeah, when you compare it to the alternative, which is medication and surgery, which is what conventional medicine offers for chronic illness. I mean, look at how expensive cancer treatment is. Okay. And are we anywhere closer to getting rid of cancer? No. Back in 1971, Cory, President Nixon declared a war on cancer. Way back in 1971. I was 2 years old. Okay. If you look at cancer and the rate of cancer from 1971 to where we are now, it's just getting worse. It's not getting better. We're losing that war. Okay. Why are we losing that war? Because we're not addressing the causes of cancer. Okay. Chemotherapy does not address the cause of cancer. It kills cancer cells. But the problem is that it kills good cells along with the cancer cells. So people, their immune systems are actually weakened. And if you have a weakened immune system, you're more at a risk for cancer, all types of cancer. Okay. So you see the problem with our conventional treatment. Radiation, okay, kills cancer cells, but it also kills good cells. And it changes the expression of cells in our body. Okay. Surgery, you cut something out of your body. Well, God gave us everything in our body for us to be healthy. And when you start removing things from the body, whether it's part of your colon or part of your liver, which happened to my sister who died of liver and colon cancer back in 2012, she went the conventional route. She decided to go to the conventional route of treating cancer, and it's proven to be a failure. Okay. Why? Because it doesn't address the causes of cancer. It just treats the symptoms. Okay. And that's a problem. And we don't do that as upper cervical chiropractors. What we do is we look at the body and we say, okay, why is the body not functioning correctly? Could it be that there's interference to the brain to cell communication at the level of the atlas, and the atlas, because it's misaligned, is causing disease in the body? The body's not functioning with ease. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But there's no money in that. There's a ton of money in selling, chemotherapy treatments. There's a ton of money in that. And that's what our sick care system is all about. I don't call it a healthcare system because it doesn't promote health. What it does is it aligns the pockets of the pharmaceutical industry, medical doctors, doing all these tests, but not helping the patient at all, because we're not eliminating the causes of their diseases.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Real quick, just to clarify, the alignment you're talking back there, how could one, besides, they go to you and, you can help them. How do you know how aligned it is or how out of aligned it is? Is this just a simple, like
That's a great question, Cory. I'm glad you're a smart man. That is a very good question. It's very simple. See, it's not complicated like, oh, what drug do I prescribe for this? As upper cervical chiropractors, diagnosis is not as important to us as it is a medical doctor. Why is diagnosis important to a medical doctor? Because they treat symptoms, and there's a medication for every symptom you could possibly imagine on this planet. Just watch cable TV for 30 minutes and see all the drug ads that there are. And, so if you have this, talk to your doctor, but then you could get this symptom and this symptom and this. And by the way, you might die from taking this medication, but talk to your doctor about it. I would hate to be a medical doctor. It would drive me nuts. Okay. Trying to figure out and manage the infinite number of chemical reactions that take place in our body every moment. It's impossible. No human being can manage that. The best doctor inside of us is our own body. Our own body is our best doctor. It's called innate intelligence. The intelligence that God used to create this body is the same intelligence that heals the body. So in answer to your question, how do I know if somebody has an upper cervical misalignment? I lay them down on the table, face down, and I look at their leg length. Okay. Is one leg shorter than the other? Okay. And then I run them through some tests to identify which bone in their upper neck is causing the discrepancy in their leg length. It's not anatomical, because when I actually adjust the atlas, their legs balance. And the reason for that, Cory, is that, and it doesn't matter, it can be a quarter of an inch, half inch, a full inch short leg. When I adjust their atlas and realign it, their legs balance immediately right on the table. Okay. The reason for that is our bodies are very intelligent. Our bodies will do whatever it takes to protect our brain. Our brain is us. all of our experiences, all of our everything, all of our emotions, everything is through our brain, and it's all recorded there as well. So the body knows that if your brain is off center or not level, if your brain is not level with the horizon, it starts to malfunction over time. Your body knows this. So let's say that you're in a car accident and you have a whiplash and your head's not aligned correctly at the top. Muscles immediately will contract to bring your eyes from being not level to level. When those muscles contract, they bring a shoulder up, a hip up, and that's what causes the short leg. It's functional. It's not anatomical. It's muscles compensating to protect your brain. So when I adjust your atlas and I realign, if it's like this and I realign it by making a little adjustment to your atlas, those muscles relax. They don't have to keep the eyes level because I've leveled your head with the top bone in your neck, the atlas. And so all those muscles on that one side of your body that were in spasm, in constant contraction, relax. And oh, you don't have a short leg anymore because those muscles aren't tight, pulling your hip up or pulling your shoulder up to try to keep your eyes level and protect your brain. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. It was about 2, 3 years ago. I was at a Tony Robbins event, and he had a guy came on and was talking about kind of similar stuff what you are, the body and how it all kind of it starts from the head to the toe, and everything affects it from there, and the alignment of things. He was very big on. I think it was called the Egoscue method or something like that. And it was, I mean, it made a lot of sense. And we would, of course, Tony Robbins always has you moving and doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? So we had to do all these stretching and these movements, and that guy would come on and start us off every morning.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good stuff. That's really good stuff.
No, it was exciting, and this makes sense what you're saying then, because I heard it there, I'm hearing it here, and you hear it other times, where it's people start saying the body it can heal itself. You just got to give it the chance to do it.
Yeah, and see the sad thing, Cory, is that only about 12% of Americans go to a chiropractor regularly. Like, what percentage of people in the United States go to a dentist regularly compared to a chiropractor? Are your teeth more important than your spine? The answer is no. Your spine protects the most important system in your body, which is your nervous system. Your brainstem and your spinal cord make up 2/3 of your central nervous system. The other part is the brain, but the brain is very protected by your cranium, and that's why God gave you a skull to protect your brain, I mean, because it's the most important thing. Your brain is the most important thing. The atlas is protected by bones, your heart is protected by ribs. This is intelligent design that God created us this way to protect the most important things in our body the most, and it's evident when you look at the anatomy. Okay. And so, you should be getting checked regularly by an upper cervical specific chiropractor if you want to prevent disease. And if you want to treat disease, well, guess what? Prevention is the cure.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I could teach anybody about sickness and disease is that you got to eliminate the causes. I don't have any disease. Why? Because I do things regularly in my life that prevent disease. I take care of my nervous system. I make sure that my nervous system, I do it periodically, get it checked periodically, just like I go to the dentist every 6 months. I get my spine checked at least once a month to make sure that everything's in alignment, that there's no interference to the brain to cell communication, and that prevents disease. Okay. But it's also what would cure the disease if I had a disease. Because when you restore that communication, like I said, the body's very intelligent. It can heal itself of anything. And when you about that and you believe that, whether you believe it or not, it's going to happen because it's been proven millions of times throughout history. Okay, not just through chiropractic, but other functional medicine things that people do.
Well,
So.
on that note, let's jump into the stem cell piece that you were talking about also earlier. I mean, so the body's trying to heal itself. We have these dormant stem cells, as you put it, inside of us, and you have come across this way that is regenerating our natural stem cells. So instead of going out and getting the injections and taking the other treatments, you have a way to kind of stimulate the stem cells within us, you said?
Yeah, so stem cell therapy, I'm new to it. I've been learning since February a lot about stem cell therapy. And actually the clinic where I work right now, the clinic director, who I've known for 20 years, knows way more about stem cells than I do. I mean, he got stem cell injections in his knees back in like 2017, back before most people even knew what stem cell therapy was. Okay. And so, when it comes to this, there's a couple things that people need to understand. And that is that when we are born with millions and millions of stem cells in our body. But what happens is that over time and as we grow, actually, that's how our organs and our tissues grow when we're a baby. For us to go from a baby to full grown, it's all stem cells. Stem cells are what actually allow our heart to grow, our bones to elongate, our muscles to grow, our organs to grow and become bigger. It's all through stem cells. And so when we're born, we're perfect and new with all these millions of stem cells in us, right? And then they get used up is what happens, Cory. Our stem cells get used up as we grow. And most people know that, and I don't know what the actual age is, and it might differ by ethnicity and race and stuff like that. But I've heard that, after the age of 25, you're done growing. Well, all that means really is that you've used up basically the stem cells that you're going to use up for growth, right? And so that's at age 25. When you get to age 40, actually stem cells start deactivating completely in your body. And it keeps on happening from the age of 40. It keeps, it progresses as you get older and older. So what we're really dealing with when we talk about stem cell therapy is we're talking about anti-aging, right? We're anti-aging as we get older, right? So stem cells actually can reverse that process. And I've seen it personally just by using this phototherapy patch that's called X39. What it does, it elevates GHK copper peptide in the body. And this peptide has been clinically proven to activate the stem cells that have gone dormant, because as we age, that's what happens. They basically stop working, we stop growing, because, we're getting older, right? And so they start basically reversing and going dormant. This GHK copper peptide, and it's an amazing discovery. It's really, in my opinion, the most revolutionary wellness technology that's ever been invented. And it comes like in a little patch, this size that you wear on your body. It costs $3.50 for this patch, where you could pay $3,500 for a stem cell injection, right? And so what it does is it gives people an opportunity that can't afford stem cell injection, because that would be the quickest way to anti-age. And like I said, my clinic director has done that, and he offers that in our clinic. With this patch, it takes much longer time, for it to act, for the stem cell. You can inject millions of stem cells in your body into a joint, and it'll, like I said, it'll repair it. It will rejuvenate it. it will return it to a more youthful state. And that's what stem cell injections does. But most insurances don't pay for it. And most people can't afford, because it's anywhere from $2,500 to $25,000, you know, for stem cell therapy. But this phototherapy patch that I have on my body right now, it's $3.33 if you buy it wholesale. If you get it retail, it's a little bit more, but not much, you know, a couple cents more a patch. But I'm working with this company to educate people about this X39 patch, because anybody can afford that. I mean, that's less than your daily cappuccino at Starbucks, $3.33, right? And it is literally activating dormant stem cells in your body 24/7 if you choose to wear it on your body 24/7.
Okay, so this is, are they reusable, disposable? You know, give us kind of.
It's not reusable. It's so here, let me grab something real quick.
Well, everybody, we have a pause here. He's grabbing some stuff. So, oh, David's back. There it is, right there. There's the.
Do you see this? This is we call this a sleeve. This sleeve has 30 patches in it of X39. One for each day of the week.
Okay.
This is like a Band-Aid. You basically unpeel the back, slap it on your body. It comes with directions. And then I mean, what could be easier? It's easier than taking a medication. Like, oh, when do I have to take? No, you just slap this on your body, stick it on your body. It's adhesive. It's non-allergenic. It's 100% organic. And you just order one of these. If you order one of these at wholesale, it's $99.95 for 30 of these. If you do the math, that's like $3.33.
Okay. Well, what
So that's a month's supply of stem cell therapy or treatment.
Is there any benefit to, let's say, you just want to jumpstart this process and like put 3 on a day? Is that going to help any, or is that
no? If you only use one a day, and there's 30 of them in this little package, right? So this is a 1-month supply of X39. You can order it on my website. You go drdavidyates.com is my website. You go to X39 and it'll be shipped right to your house in 3 days. You take out the patch, put it on your body. Oh, I'm activating dormant stem cells in my body. I'm anti-aging for $100 a month. You can't beat that. There's no technology, nothing like this in the world.
Is there a better place to put it on the body? I mean, do you put it like where you have pain? Do you put it, you know, what's the ideal situation there?
I like that question as well, because when I started using this, Cory, I had no dysfunction, no pain, nothing. Why? Because I've been under upper cervical chiropractic care for the last 20 years. So I had no expectations when I put this on my body. I had no health problems. None. I was optimally healthy. But 3 days after I put it on my body, Cory, I'm like looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, wait a minute. I have wrinkles going away on my face. I couldn't believe it. 3 days after putting this on my body. My mental clarity increased, my energy increased, my metabolism increased, all due to this. And I was already at very high levels of energy, mental clarity, and metabolism. Like those weren't issues for me at all. Like I said, I was optimally healthy. This took my health to a much different level. So to answer your question, most people in the United States are dealing with at least one chronic illness, right?
Right.
I mean, if you look at the statistics now in the United States, more than 50% of Americans are dealing with at least one chronic illness. Okay. So when you're treating a chronic illness, it's not going to go away in 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, even. It might take 6 months to a year or even longer to resolve that chronic illness. You could buy 3 months of this for $300 and use up all 90 patches and decide, you know what? I'm not happy with my results. Money back. 300. We'll give you your $300 back, even though you used up the entire product. There's no risk at all in using this. Number one. Number two, it couldn't be easier to use. It couldn't be more inexpensive. There's no side effects. 100% organic, non-allergenic. The patch isn't going to cause your skin to break out in a rash or anything like that. And along with upper cervical care, it's the best treatment for chronic issues, because disc degeneration, osteoarthritis, those are all chronic conditions. All right. But remember, this can repair and this can rejuvenate any tissue in the body. Let's say you're dealing with kidney failure. Let's say you're dealing with a liver issue. Whatever it is, this can repair and replace those damaged tissues with new tissue. How long that's going to take, I don't know, but you can use this for 3 months and get your money back if you're not fully satisfied with feeling better or looking better or, just being better after that 3 months. I mean, we guarantee this product. We know it works. I know it works. That's why I'm on your podcast right now to tell people, look, you want to anti-age here. You want to treat chronic illness, upper cervical, between the two, there's no better treatment or product on the planet for people dealing with chronic illness.
Well, that is some great information, David. You got me thinking about definitely the upper cervical care. I've been aware of the X39 before I've actually purchased the product. So the one thing I noticed that it did help with, it seemed to help with sleep. That I think that's what part I noticed earlier. Maybe it was that, maybe it wasn't, I don't know, but it was, that did make a change.
What was the change? Tell me.
Sleep. My sleep. I seemed to sleep better. So
now what did you, because we actually have a patch just for sleeping better.
I didn't. I just bought that one right there.
Okay. So that's a good, let's talk about that for a moment. Okay. Let's talk about the implications of sleeping better. Okay. When we're sleeping and we're sleeping soundly, our body is repairing. Okay. Most everybody knows that. And if you don't, go ask your medical doctor and they'll tell you the same thing, that, sleep is essential to health because it's how the body rejuvenates. It's how the body repairs. It basically, you do a lot of repair while you're sleeping. Okay. And so, your body was repairing itself at a higher level by using this, Cory. Okay. How long did you use this?
I had a month's supply and we're just kind of on the tail end now.
Did you use it every day for a month for 12 to 24 hours?
No, because there was a couple days where I missed. I went somewhere and forgot to take them or whatever, but never missed more than 2 days.
Okay. So once again, when we're dealing with, I'll go back to what I talked about at the beginning of the podcast, and that is that we have inside of us what's called innate intelligence. And innate intelligence is our best doctor, because our innate intelligence knows exactly what's going on in our body every second. with every chemical reaction that's taking place. No medical doctor knows that. No chiropractor knows that. Nobody knows that, okay, except your own body, okay? What I like about this is that it works synergistically with the innate intelligence of the body. Now, that to me is a miracle, okay? But that's what I've identified is happening. I mean, there's no other explanation for it. If you look at the mechanism of how this patch works, and I'm going to explain it right now. There's no other like answer. See, what happens is our bodies emit infrared light continually, okay? Our bodies constantly emitting infrared light. This has been proven scientifically, okay? You can go do the research on it. That infrared light that our body emits is our spirit. And if you're a religious person, you know that, and you've read the Bible, you know that the spirit is what gives the body life. Okay. I've dissected 3 cadavers during my doctorate program. And the only difference between a cadaver and you and I, Cory, is our spirit. Okay. Our spirit is what gives the flesh life. Without our spirit, we're dead. We're dead. It's that simple, right? And so science identifies this spirit as infrared light that our body emits. What this patch does is it redirects the spirit that our body emits back into our skin and nervous system. And then, like I said, our nervous system, which is our innate intelligence, which is how innate intelligence in the body basically does what it needs to do to sustain life and to keep us healthy, decides what needs healing. Okay. We don't know when you were using X39, I don't know what was going on in your body, but your innate intelligence does. And if you were sleeping better, that probably means that that's what your body needed in order to heal or repair what it needed to repair. And that would continue if you continue to use this, and it would definitely optimize your health. I don't know what symptoms you have. I don't know how healthy you are. I just know that if I improve brain to cell communication via your nervous system, Cory, through upper cervical care, your body will heal what it needs to heal. I also know that if you use this, it's going to heal the tissues at the cellular level. Like it's going to repair, torn ligaments or muscles, or, it's going to, because see, what people don't really realize, which medical doctors don't talk about a lot, is that our tissues, our bodies are regenerating continuously throughout our life, okay? But they regenerate in a degenerative state if we don't have something like this, or if we don't have more stem cells in our body, or if we don't activate the stem cells that are already there that have gone dormant because of age and overuse, okay? Then that's how we die. We eventually die and regenerate and become old. But this can reverse the process, right? And I mean, like I said, there's nothing else like it out there. And you just have to trust your body and trust this technology because it works. I know it works.
Well, that's great. That's great. And you said they can find you at David Yates, Dr. David Yates, right?
Yeah, DrDavidYates.
All right. And they can, and on that site, then they can find the X39 patch.
Yeah. And the full address is basically www.lifewave, okay, Lifewave /DrDavidYates.com.
Okay. All right. Well,
because This is a global company. We're in over 60 countries. Okay. Um, and the way that we're spreading the word about this is we're using the power of people. Okay. A lot of people don't like network marketing, but I love it because it's the best business model to take a product or service global. And that's what Lifewave has done is I'm an independent distributor of this product. I have my own website, which is basically a replicated website of Lifewave's website, which is the global company is lifewave.com. But if you want to order it from me, so I can, have a home-based business, which is available to anybody who wants to not only use this product, but share it with others globally, because we're going to do $1 billion in the next 3 to 5 years. I mean, this company is the next Apple when it comes to healthcare. This is the future of healthcare, Cory, because what people are realizing is that they don't want to go to a medical doctor because, first of all, it takes too long. He's swamped or she's swamped. You go to the office, you're there for 3 hours, you fill out all these forms, you get a medication, and that medication doesn't do anything for you except make you sicker.
Yep.
Okay. It's a broken system. Like I said, it's a sick care system. It's not a healthcare system. It's about profits. It's not about health. This is going to change it in the next 10 years. This is going to be a household name. You might as well get in now. How many people wish they got involved in with Apple before everybody knew who Apple was?
Right.
Everybody's going to know who Lifewave is in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got an opportunity to get in now. So don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Basically what I would recommend is just people contact me directly, because I'm a consultant. I'm a teacher. I like educating people like we've done during this podcast. I can tell you, you tell me what's going on in your life. And I mean, we have more than one patch, and there's different ways to get involved. If you want to do it as a business, if you just want to try out the product, we have different products. So just have people contact me, Dr. Dave at godhealthandrelationships.com, or my cell phone number. I'd be happy to give that to you right now.
Sure.
425-802-0918.
There you go, everybody. There's no excuse now. Reach out to David and he will help you and educate you on the X39 patch. Well, David, with all that being said, I think we had a pretty good episode today. We got a lot of information. I'm definitely going to be looking into the upper cervical chiropractic piece, most definitely. I can't see how it could hurt anything to at least look into it.
It's the safest technique in chiropractic. A lot of people don't go to chiropractors because they're afraid. It's the least invasive and safest technique in the entire profession. And there's dozens of techniques in chiropractic, but I chose that one, like I said earlier, because I wanted to help people in a way that other people weren't helping them. And I wanted to help with chronic illness, not with acute, like, oh, I got this neck pain or this back pain, or I got a headache. General chiropractic's great for that. But when it comes to chronic illness, there's nothing better than upper cervical, in my opinion, my professional opinion.
Well, excellent. Well, with all that being said, David, we're going to bring this episode to a close, and we want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. Got some great information from you, but we will be closing this off. So this is the Lost Coast podcast. We are signing off, and we will see you guys all next time. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.